somebody had put out the question, can there be an expert in the paranormal? And you can call in with your thoughts on that question alone throughout the rest of the night. 508-996-0500, 877-996-1420, or in the chat room at SpookySouthCoast.com on Spooky TV. But I will say that I was of that mindset at the beginning. And part of that is, and don't take offense to this, people that are in the paranormal, but we just regurgitate a lot of what we hear other people say. A lot of the stances that we take on things aren't our stances, aren't our beliefs. We're just saying what we think people in this field are supposed to say. And one of those things is that there cannot be an expert in the paranormal because none of this stuff is proven. So if it's not proven, how can you be an expert in something that is not proven? Moniz, you work in science. A lot of science is theoretical.
Correct.
You can be an expert in something that is theoretical, right?
Yes.
There's no reason to not be. I mean, just
ask Sheldon about string theory.
Right. String theory is perfect. A perfect example. Not proven.
I had to.
Quantum physics, not proven.
Right.
We seem to think that there's a very good possibility, but it's not proven. But you can still be an expert.
Correct.
There's many things that are theoretical.
Well, with being an expert in that comes years of studying and research and learning, and that's what we do here too.
You can apply the same thing to the paranormal. So you can be...
Research is a method.
Right.
You know, you can do it on anything if you apply it.
Correct.
Apply the method correctly.
And you can be an expert in that methodology.
Yep.
Yes.
Because you've done it enough and you've studied it enough
Right.
and you've tried other things that may be a differentiation.
Here's the way I view the word expert when, thrown into the paranormal mix. To me, an expert in the paranormal is just somebody that has a bit more knowledge than the average layperson, or, somebody that isn't really following it. Okay? You can say the same thing with surfing if you wanted to. There are surfers that are out there in the waves, and there are people that follow surfing. They don't necessarily, go out, and then there are people that just know there's this thing called surfing.
Right.
And we get hung up on words quite a bit too. Like, for example, like we tend to think like academia has to be part of expertise.
Right.
So if you are a professor who teaches American history with a concentration in the Civil War, then you are a Civil War expert. But if you're just somebody who has a serious interest in the Civil War and spends your entire life researching it, reenacting it, reading about it, all these different avenues that you can do to learn more about the Civil War, well, then you're a Civil War buff.
Right.
Enthusiast.
Right. But you are, in my definition of it, if you know, you don't have to know all that there is to know.
Right.
To be able to call yourself an expert. It just means that you have studied it from different approaches. Now, if you're somebody who follows one track and says that I'm just going to follow this one track and this is the way that I'm going to look at it, then you really can't call yourself an expert because you've closed off other possibilities.
I think I find that more in this field than anything else is, well, this is my belief system and this is my theory and, I'm looking at it from this way. So therefore, even if you got on TV and you didn't, it doesn't matter. But if you're looking at it from one, tunnel vision, so to speak, you're missing out on everything around you. I just had to say that to a bunch of people this week while doing readings. Like, when you have that tunnel vision and you're so focused on a goal or whatever it might be, you're missing the entire world around you. Flowers are growing, birds are singing, sun's, rising and setting, and you're not realizing any of it. So it's the same thing with that.
Well, what they're not getting is if you're to look at it as a whole. Yep. Think of it like dentistry.
Right.
Okay? There are many forms of dentistry. You've got people that are periodontists. That's part of dentistry. And you've got a number of different other categories. And,
there's cosmetic dentistry. There's, surgery. There's
a number of different avenues, but it's all under that same category.
Of course.
Some people choose to go and follow this particular methodology.
Well, same thing with law. I mean, you can do anything. It's just one umbrella with a bunch of different, subcategories.
Right, but I wouldn't. So if I'm a lawyer and my concentration is in, real estate law, I wouldn't consider myself a legal expert.
Correct.
I would consider myself an expert in real estate law. I could be a legal analyst. You could ask me questions about other parts of the law because I have studied it.
Right.
But I would feel like my expertise would be in that one
Right.
particular concentration. So let me just throw this out there let me narrow it down a little bit. So let's just focus on ghosts.
Okay.
So
Let's do it.
if you are a person who wants to be a ghost expert or refer to yourself as a ghost expert,
Yep.
I think that in fairness, it doesn't mean that you have to know what a ghost is to be an expert in it.
Right.
I think what it means is that you have to know all the different plausible theories or popular theories of what it could be and be able to speak on each of them. Doesn't mean that you have to weigh them all equally. You can have
Or agree with them. Just
Right.
be aware.
You just have to know. So when I get up and I talk about what ghosts are to a library full of people, I don't get up there and say, here's what I think a ghost is, and let's just talk about that. I get up there and I say, here are some of the theories of what a ghost is, and I don't know what it is.
Yep.
But here are some of the predominant theories, and we can explore each one of them. So if that's the way that you're looking at things, I don't think there's any problem with calling yourself an expert or being referred to as an expert.
Yep.
I think when you go around calling yourself an expert in anything, you can kind of sound asinine a bit. If you start referring yourself, if you walk up to somebody, hi, my name's Tim, I'm a ghost expert. Like, that just sounds douchey.
Sorry.
But if you...
I thought that my
Oh, that was going everywhere. That was going everywhere.